And quit listening to people if they don't resonate with you. Your emotional response is the chakra right down here. It's the solar plexus, that's the sacral. That's the solar chakra, part of your soul. Nothing resonates. So I look at this election. Maybe it could go a bit better. But I look at the countries my mother was born in that I can be a citizen of. And I look at an area that I discovered over the years where I want to go. I don't want a nursing home. I don't want to be around people I disagree with because they're listening to all the clutter. And Canada's fallen, as far as I'm concerned. It's not my country. I'm leaving. I'm just not going to live in this country. I'm a progressive man, and I don't want to be controlled by fossil fuel fascism. And I don't want to be controlled by fake news and unregulated market systems. Too much liberty for everyone. Democracy. What is it? Well, it has to pertain to a migrating to Australia as a citizen of descent. And that's an automatic citizenship. Do I want to pay taxes in a country that's so divided up with no common sense? No, I don't. I don't want it. I'm looking at e-business because why? I'm getting older and I like helping people. I don't like listening to all the junk on there and I block it. Turn it off. Declutter. And here's what I mean. It's a form of stoicism to walk away from people who listen to this junk. I don't listen to it. And I'm starting to use Patreons, these programs. I like it. You can blind it with this, but I'm always clearing the cache and blocking things I don't want to see. Is a stoic. Yeah. There is bad things. We buy crappy products and we got to throw them out. Well, information's that same way, and it's got an agenda. Or how do we discern it? Well, Greg, you got some rudiments that you're an environmentalist, but you know you're in a country that's dependent on fossil fuels. Yeah, but you see, you've been living a low budget. They're throwing junk on you like this, and that's that's junk. And then they're telling me that's all there is. Well, I'm in the wrong place. We might go homeless, Greg. No, I won't. Because you told me to get rid of the phone, right? Well, I pay a big plan on this phone, and you've been feeding me garbage so I can get out of here. I'm going on as soon as I get my next check. I make arrangements. And I'm looking at people writing me, oh, we got a place for you here for while you're traveling. And I got to get documents, and I'm going to do a lawsuit. Maybe see what happens. You know, it's something. We never know how the universe manifests for us. We work on synchronicity. And this is just maybe how long will it take to clear this mess up. Well, sitting here is let me go down and listen to a guy that keeps on promising me things. And he's working in a rubbish system and he can't get his head together. Now, that young man has been listening to a lot of garbage. He's got a divorce. And I started to listen to this therapist. She's not worthy of anything. She's like Katie Morgan. Another wacko psychotherapist because she doesn't have a sex life. Maybe his wife does. He says, oh, Christine wouldn't like that. No, Christine might not like that because she's a virgin. But when you get married, you have a physical intimacy. And I talk, oh, there's something wrong with the whole generation here. And I saw it in Australia. It's a North American thing. I think it came in with Calvinism. There's feminine freedom of sexual expression is quite common, and we taboos, the sweet taboo. Oh crap, we got taboos. We got all the speed of misinformation. We can't discern it. So you're loyal to the misinformation. And it's just narrowing things down to the pin drop of nothing. The real taboo is social media, media overfunded, over sources that are just using an intellectual way to mind hack you. I'd say the psychology of manipulation. And all I hear on here, on the far right, is a manipulation of things I don't agree with. So, even if they win the election, they'll have those bullshit, that BS in, and that's a continuing story. So I'm denouncing citizenship. I liked Australia, and I'll go back. But it's been a struggle. It's been hogwash, and that's just built up over the years. And I'm going to admit that the media was driving me nuts. Like, if I can get the understanding of what law and order is, I don't have to have things shoved on me. And I get along with police all right. I don't escalate legal situations. But always shoving garbage on people. They feel controlled. Oh, yeah. Nobody wants to feel that. You want a collective of people that are having a bit of a freedom and doing no harm. So what do I think? Protesting? Wow. My time, I saw a lot of protests going on that weren't really good. They were going too far to counterculture. Abby Hoffman, just going extreme. And I look around for solutions. And I know there's problems in Australia. But I'm not going to break the law. I'm going to live away from collectives. They're too big to form a social coercion of community. And I know the Flanders Range area, I can make a lot of friends. I like an area I call home. And it can be with a few friends. It can be with a balanced tourism, not like this. This isn't balanced. This is overfunded. It's just greed. And I say greed and what the nuance of greed is. And they'll just keep on telling their story until you're done. So this has been going on for centuries. There's certain people that want things their way. The healthcare system's rubbish. It's absolute ivory tower garbage. Needs integration. And I think it needs, your own insurance and other factors like using services that are going to make you well, and not listen to him tell me that I have diarrhea because of not looking at the factors. I faced this years ago. I knew that the horses weren't working right because of the diet. But he says, maybe you need a doctor to come in. Maybe I fire you. Well, that's brutal. Good. I'm going to call him today. I'm charging that phone up, and I don't want any more healthcare rubbish of Ontario because you don't really know much at all because you're not thinking out of the box. You're thinking in ivory towers of everything. I look at the CMHA. It could work, but Canadian Mental Health, but it's handing out mental health. I listen to these girls. They're just learning. I've had my mental health crisis of wondering what was wrong with me. And I had to go back to, who am I? I'm a psychic empath, and I don't want to hear anymore. And yeah, I gotta defend myself all the time. And here I live in the world and be of the world, but the world is not for me. Not this collective of social media and mind habit. And I don't have, and as you get older, do they judge you by your clothes? Yeah, when they keep you poor, you wear rags. And you move on and make some money, you'll dress more the way you want life. So I'm not worthy of anything. You're not worthy of anything because you're being mind hacked by a friggin' broken system. Mark Zuckerberg, down with him. All these commodities, you just let the basket flip. You got haters on there, fake news, and you got them on here too. Fake news, too much information. Understanding what value is in an economy, and I'd go with Mark Carney, but that's your decision. And you can go with that. Pierre Poilievre, he's a piece of garbage. He's just another one of that right-wing boy, Stephen Harper, ruined this country. And who's promoting Stephen friggin' Harper? So I got some very toxic things. But I'll tell you something, like Justin Trudeau taught me. He doesn't have to be popular to do the right thing while he was in office. He did a lot of changes that weren't popular because that's the way this thing works. About a democracy and with taboos and just coming it through a social media feed, we're going to have a lot of rubbish. We're going to have people that are on the side of them and their profits, but not on the side of a society that makes this world better. We can see that. So I'm pretty stoic right now to get out of Canada. I don't think it's getting better. I think it's getting worse. So I look at this election. It's pretty touchy. I don't like touchiness. I like the sheer thing in a democracy. Now, it could go to a democracy if people get off the friggin' box. Quit letting people influence you. Where do I think influence is wrong? Well, I hear it all the time. He influenced me to go rob a bank. Yeah. You got all sorts of influencers on here. They're making money on unethical things like on criminal law and getting people out of jail. They got a following of all police brutality, escalating violence. I'm not figuring things out. So that shows me that you got what we call a system called mind hacking. Echo chambers, likes that you don't know why you're getting liked, and a need to be popular. Well, what if I'm not a Canadian? What if I did not citizenship? This destroyed our country. It's been destroying it for years. Fake news, bad politics, and lies. We used to try to discern politicians for years, since the 60s. And we came up with words like political retard. I like those words. We turned the TV off after watching these guys sit around talking like morons. What was best for the country? It was the integration of everything fall apart. So he might be in real estate. He's talking about this, making the free market racket nice and good for him. And counting the money and intellectually stimulating you. This is good for him. He's in healthcare that doesn't work. So it's killing me. Bad food. And then maybe we'll make some more money sending them to a doctor to find out maybe the food's bad or maybe just put up with it. No. One thing, if the area doesn't serve you, leave. If Canada doesn't serve you, you're not loyal to it. You don't have to be loyal to anything. You have to be loyal to what's going to work for you and honor a country that you think will be a better fit. I go to a fashion store of Jewish tailor because I don't mind Jewish people. I'm not xenophobic. He'll fit me a suit that'll fit right. Now, if the country's not fitting me because the social media screwed it, then I leave. That's what I'm doing. I look at the variances and what I don't like here. I don't like universal health care because it's all in ivory towers. And some of the healthcare in Australia needs to get out of that ivory tower thing because I listen to podcasts from other doctors. They got simple solutions, but their ivory tower league in Melbourne doesn't really get together well. Then you're all of a sudden rejected as a maverick with a BM medical degree. There's organizations I don't agree with in Australia. I don't agree with, I'll name one, Reiki Connections. I don't like Australian Reiki Connection. Why? Because I do everything distance. I tune distance. I don't think it's impossible. And that's just, and then I read a book, The Myths That Certain Reiki Groups Started. I'm not a holy fire. I got a problem with it. It's not a hate. In the Bible, in the presence of God, one, it's in Matthew. I think holy fire got into that with William Rand. I'm not running down William Rand. But I am a Kundalini master, and I know we cross energies. And doing attunements in a room, one at a time. I do one at a time. And if I do distance healing, I do one at a time. I instilled the peace, but I walked away from holy fire, not because I hate it. It's because of these principles of comparing the Bible, which is what we were trying to do, to another system of doing when God is present, we are one. But no. We don't do attunements and just let it go. Because we're cross-threading energies in this room of people with energetic problems. Now, if I'm wrong, my friend got a Holy Fire Reiki Master attunement, and it failed. He's dead. He died. There's a lot of emotional problems coming in, and I think it's coordinates in the system. So William really did do some techniques I could use, but I went on to angelic healing and spiritual healing and protection, learning crystal energy. So I sell crystals and grids and things like that. And I also practice EFT because we can't practice Reiki. I hear my clients saying that's your intention. Well, if I come in with anger, I can't do it. If I come in with problems, I'm not an effective healer. So I clear it with EFT. I clear it with other modalities. I have to be looking after myself. So I couldn't work here. There's a lot of negative people around me that are being addicted to the social media feeds or progressive conservative. I'm not. I'm going to be stoic. I'm not progressive conservative 1 inch. You can't push me that way because I haven't seen anything right. just social media lies and rid of people I don't want to hear from, like Pierre Palliette. Now I see Pierre being backed by one of the worst men in Canada, Stephen Harper. Yeah. So I don't want to hear him. I turn them off. I come on here and I'm just posting. I'm not going to even look at the other junk. Too much work to do to discern. If we have a life of discernment, know your core values and go from there. And now I'm seeing the race so narrow that it's not a good race. Time to leave and delete my citizenship of this country. It's a dump.